We feared this day would come, when the lands are ruined.
Hey everyone, a few months ago it was announced that Diablo 3 will be receiving an update in the form of a relatively large content patch. The content patch has been labelled Rise of the Necromancer, and it includes a new class, this class being the return of the Necromancer from Diablo 2. Now the Necromancer itself is not a new class, the class was actually a favourite of fans in Diablo 2, however it was not released in Diablo 3. And a lot of the Necromancer traits were assigned and adapted to create the class the Witch Doctor, which was a new addition to the Diablo franchise. In the past, when Blizzard have released new classes for Diablo, they normally result in a complete expansion pack. The Crusader was released in Reaper of Souls, and prior to that, and prior to Diablo 3, both the Assassin and the Druid were released in Lords of Destruction for Diablo 2. The Diablo 3 version of the Necromancer will be similar to the Diablo 2 class, however there's going to be a few modifications. In Diablo 2, the class had 3 talent specializations, and they all centralized around summoning, poison and bone spells, and curses. The developers have mentioned that these same themes will be making a reappearance in Diablo 3, however there are going to be differences as Diablo 3 is a lot more fast-paced in regards to gameplay than what Diablo 2 is. Abilities such as Bone Spear, Siphon Health, which was Life Tap in Diablo 2, Corpse Explosion and Summon Skeletons, which was Raise Skeleton in Diablo 2, are making a reappearance. As Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 skill tree structures are vastly different and the pace of gameplay is generally a lot faster within Diablo 3, we can expect the class will probably operate and play completely different to what we've experienced in Diablo 2. And because Diablo 2 included these set skill trees and with varying skills and abilities in each, and Diablo 3 has completely revamped how skills are allocated, we can expect that there will be attributes that can be assigned to each of the key skills that are heavily influenced from Diablo 2. It's worth mentioning though that the team behind Diablo 3 is a completely different team to the team that created Diablo 2, and I'm personally going to expect a lot of changes to the class, some which I'll like and some which I probably won't like. However, there's also going to be a lot of comparisons made between both the Necromancer and the Witch Doctor. Now, whilst there are striking similarities between both the Necromancer and the Witch Doctor, Blizzard has stated that the design of both classes will be fundamentally different, and you'll probably see a lot of similarities on the surface of these classes, but deeper down, especially within the skills and the playstyle of each class, the gameplay will be vastly different. With the patch itself, Rise of the Necromancer is slightly out of the norm for Blizzard content, as I mentioned earlier. Generally, Blizzard normally provide an extensive content patch or expansion when they're releasing a new class, and details around Rise of the Necromancer show that the only addition to Diablo 3 will be this new class. However, prior patches to Diablo 3 have seen additional zones, new artifacts, new items, and new legendaries. It would be no surprise that a lot of the information behind Rise of the Necromancer is not being revealed. However, if what is reported is true, this content patch will be one of the first where Blizzard has actually charged for additional DLC without releasing a full expansion of content. However, as the Necromancer class is not entirely a new concept, it could explain why there's been no word on additional content other than this new class. Diablo 3 was released a little over 5 years ago, and whilst there is no sign that content for Diablo 3 is waning, if you compare the content releases for both Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, Lords of Destruction was the only expansion released for Diablo 2, and that was released a full year after Diablo 2 was officially launched. Comparatively, Diablo 2 released or included 2 additional classes in Lords of Destruction, whereas Reaper of Souls only introduced 1 new playable class. Therefore, the addition of the new class of the Necromancer could either symbolize the end or the last big content patch for Diablo 3. For me personally, I hope that this necessarily isn't the case, and I feel that Diablo 3 does have a lot of replayability and a lot of potential going forward. However, it'd be nice to see some additional zones for the game. But tell me what you think. Do you feel that Rise of the Necromancer should be a paid content patch? And do you think that this will be the last major content patch for Diablo 3? Let me know in the comment section below. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, think about subscribing. That's going to do it, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.